Dobry wieczór, witamy Was serdecznie, moi drodzy. Mamy godzinę 19, tradycyjna godzina dla nas na rozpoczęcie naszego webinaru. Więc bardzo się cieszę, że jesteście z nami, że mamy tyle zapisów. Oczywiście dam Wam parę minut na to, żebyście się zalogowali dla wszystkich spóźnialskich. W międzyczasie oczywiście będziemy tutaj weryfikować nasze techniczne warunki, czy wszystko widać i wszystko słychać, więc poproszę Was, żebyście dali nam tutaj informację, czy na pewno widzicie 3 osoby na ekranie i pierwszą stronę naszej prezentacji dzisiaj. I czy nas słyszycie przede wszystkim, tak? To takie 2-3 minutki daję Wam spóźnialskie, a w międzyczasie ja oczywiście rozpocznę nasze techniczne tutaj slajdy. No i tak jakbym chciała tutaj wspomnieć, są oczywiście z nami 2 Dima, tak bym to nazwała. Mam nadzieję, że dobrze to odmieniłam po polsku.
Tak.
Mamy naszego tradycyjnego, starego Dimę, który jest zawsze z nami. Może nie
wieczór.
starego wiekowo, ale naszego tutaj dobrego, starego Dimę. I mamy nowego Dimę. Dima Kubrak is with us today. So Dima, you can just say hello for the time being.
What's up, guys? What's up,
Yeah.
everybody?
So,
today we have the best. It's called Dima sandwich. So one Dima on the top, one on the bottom, and Maggie in between. So
Exactly. Więc jak widzicie, dzisiaj będziemy mieli bardzo wartościowy webinar, więc zachęcam Was, żebyście jak najszybciej się popodłączali, byli gotowi do słuchania. A w międzyczasie, kochani, tak szybko, dla tych osób, które są dzisiaj nowe, to bardzo króciutko powiemy o Global Sellers. Oczywiście znowu Wam powiem o naszej konferencji, bo ja chcę mieć pewność, że Wy wszystko o niej wiecie i się na nią zapisujecie. Jak już zdążyliście zauważyć, mamy naszego tutaj Dimę, który opowie Wam dużo ciekawych rzeczy o influence marketing i o TikToku. No i tradycyjnie na sam koniec mamy dla Was niespodzianki, bonusy dla osób wytrwałych, które z nami tutaj są. Zawsze podkreślamy to, że nasze webinary opierają się na naszej wiedzy, na naszym doświadczeniu, na tym, co myśmy doświadczyli w pracy z Amazonem przez te wszystkie lata, przez które sprzedajemy na Amazonie, i tak samo jest zarówno ze mną, z jednym Dimą, z drugim Dimą, i będziemy się zawsze dzielić z Wami swoją wiedzą. A tak w kwestiach zapoznania się szybciutko, żebyście nam powiedzieli coś o sobie, więc proszę Was bardzo, żebyście nam powiedzieli, kto z Was już coś sprzedaje na Amazonie, to postawcie 1. Jeśli ktoś z Was jeszcze nie sprzedaje na Amazonie, postawcie 2. I tradycyjnie chciałabym się dowiedzieć, skąd jesteście. Tak ze zwykłej ciekawości. Więc poproszę Was w międzyczasie o komentarze, gdziekolwiek jesteście. W kwestiach technicznych tradycyjnie można nas oglądać za pomocą linku u nas w pokoju, na naszej grupie facebookowej i na naszym kanale YouTube. Więc zachęcam, jakikolwiek kanał jest dla Was najwygodniejszy, zachęcam, żebyście z niego skorzystali. Szybciutko, jak już większość Was zna, chociaż mieliśmy kilka nowych zapisów, dlatego my zawsze się przedstawiamy. Jesteśmy Global Sellers, spotkaliśmy się około 5 lat temu, ponad 4,5 roku temu stworzyliśmy Global Sellers, czyli przede wszystkim wsparcie przedsiębiorców, społeczność, w której jesteśmy na co dzień i mam nadzieję, że Wy też jesteście na co dzień, konsultacje wszelkiego rodzaju, szkolenia, czyli wszystko, można powiedzieć, że całe nasze życie kręci się wokół Amazona. Szybciutko o opiniach na nasz temat, żebyście wiedzieli, że nie lejemy wody, że staramy się dostarczyć zawsze wartościowy content, który jest na bazie naszego doświadczenia, na bazie doświadczeń kont, które prowadzimy, i oczywiście umiejętności, które zdobywamy w praktyce. No i jak widzicie, pracujemy z różnego rodzaju partnerami, którzy zarówno są naszymi partnerami na co dzień, jak i przy organizacji przeróżnych eventów. A mówiąc o eventach, szybciutko tutaj po raz kolejny Wam przypomnę i mam nadzieję, że zapamiętacie i zaczniecie działać w tym kierunku. Konferencja 12-13 stycznia, czyli bardzo dobre rozpoczęcie nowego roku. Skupiamy się na konferencji know-how. Ta nazwa jest nie bez powodu wymyślona know-how, bo jest to praktyczna wiedza. Dzięki tej wiedzy będziecie mogli zdecydowanie popchnąć swoje biznesy do przodu, rozpocząć działalność też na Amazonie. Na konferencji tak naprawdę to jest pierwsza i póki co jedyna taka konferencja w Polsce, która przez całe 2 dni koncentruje się na tematyce Amazona. Jak wiecie, są różne eventy e-commerce'owe, które są bardzo dobre, natomiast Amazon bardzo często ma tylko 1, może 2 prelekcje na takich konferencjach i sama wiem z doświadczenia jako speaker, prelegent na takich konferencjach, wiem, że bardzo mało się da powiedzieć o Amazonie, dlatego tutaj całe bite dni będziemy nawijać o Amazonie i mamy absolutnie rewelacyjnych prelegentów. Bardzo żeśmy się starali, żeby ich wszystkich ściągnąć do Was. Powiem Wam, że zbudowaliśmy sobie kolejne etaty pracy, żeby pracować nad tą konferencją. A dlaczego to zrobiliśmy? Ponieważ my jeździmy na takie konferencje za granicę, bardzo dużo z nich wyciągamy. Ja już po raz kolejny mówię, że te konferencje niejednokrotnie są dla mnie takimi game changer w całym moim procesie pracy na Amazonie, a szczególnie pierwsze konferencje otworzyły mi oczy na wiele różnych wspaniałych możliwości. I tu nie o to chodzi, że ja Wam tutaj będę sprzedawała i nawijała makaron na uszy typu American Dream, ale naprawdę, jak spotkałam ludzi, którzy są światowymi sprzedawcami na Amazonie, to otworzyli mi oczy na przeróżne możliwości i postaraliśmy się na tą konferencję ściągnąć takich ludzi dla Was, żeby oni Wam powiedzieli i ustawili ten Wasz biznesowy mindset, jak działać na tym Amazonie i będziemy mieli przeróżnych ekspertów. Później troszkę Wam powiem o tematykach, natomiast właśnie każda z tematyk, która będzie miała na pewno praktyczne przyłożenie do Waszego biznesu. A jednym z naszych gości, który będzie na naszej konferencji i absolutnie topowy przedsiębiorca na Amazon, który z wiedzy, którą ja posiadłam, jest na Amazon, właściwie zaczął swoje biznesy od 19 roku życia, więc żyje biznesem, ma absolutnie mindset biznesowy, jest założycielem Sellerize i teraz pewnie poprawi, ja powiem ASAP Warehouse, mam nadzieję, że to jest poprawnie. Ale to jest też przede wszystkim mentor, osoba, która chętnie dzieli się swoją wiedzą i jeżeli ktoś z Was kiedyś miał okazję oglądać jego webinary, a ja miałam okazję, wszelkiego rodzaju publikacje na YouTubie, jest to wiedza praktyczna i gotowa do implementacji. Nie jest to wiedza, która jest tak zwanym laniem wody. Więc moi drodzy, ja teraz przejdę na język angielski, żebym mogła się porozumiewać z naszym gościem. Dima, so I did a little bit of introduction about yourself. I hope I have pronounced the ASAP warehouse correctly. ASAP or ASAP? How would you pronounce it correctly?
It doesn't matter. As far as you use it, it's fine.
Okay, perfect. So that's great. So Dima, I did a little bit of introduction of yourself, but obviously I would prefer you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about yourself personally, but also about your association with Amazon, your life with Amazon, I would say, because considering your businesses and your life, I would say you are similar to us, like live of Amazon. So please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Maggie, thank you so much for introduction. It was amazing introduction. And first of all, guys, thank you so much for coming for webinar. Those of you who stay online, make sure you have a chance to ask a question. Those of you who will be watching us on replay, I'm going to see your comments later and probably will help you or try to answer. Also, those of you who come into the event in Poland, I would be excited to see you. We're going to have a really fun time. I'm going to share a lot of cool strategies with you. I don't speak Polish yet, but maybe after this visit, I will improve it more and more. Originally, I'm from Ukraine. I was born in Ukraine and I moved to United States in 2010. Focused on building some of my businesses. Not everything was as easy as it looks. Some people, they just want to have a nice big business, but they don't understand how much effort and hustle you have to commit to and take a risk all the time. So I'm pretty much an operational entrepreneur. I do my operations on a daily basis. I focus on improvements, talk to my team all the time. I have fun of developing new products as always. And I have several companies, like a IT company which is called Sellerize. It's a massive software for Amazon sellers that we grew in 6 years, and fulfillment centers we have. But it's not my main focus. My main focus is just develop products on Amazon, rank them, build them, make sure like buy other companies, and just continuously growing. And like in 10 years of my e-commerce experience, Amazon experience, I tried many different techniques, and techniques been changing all these years. Amazon was changing. I remember back in 2013, 15, there was completely different rules to work with, and Amazon being continuously changing and becoming better and better place. Some people who comes from the old days, they feel like Amazon become more difficult, but I can tell you guys, Amazon is one of the best opportunities nowadays, because now you have data, you have experts, you have service providers, you pretty much can organize everything. You have so much content around this. You just dive in and work, and you will achieve results. It's like, for example, right now, if you decide to start a gas station, you have no idea how to start a gas station. But if you learn every step of the process, you probably will become successful. Same as with the Amazon. There's so much information. So please, if you an active Amazon seller, the event in Poland is absolutely must to visit, because I see the line of speakers, and myself, I'm coming. I'm going to share with you amazing strategies. And today we're going to talk with Maggie about some systems we're working with the influencers and what we focus on. Of course, in one webinar, it's impossible to give you all the knowledge how to scale with influencers. But I'm going to give you some hints that you're going to focus on, and making sure that you continue adjusting, or those who just started with the influencers, you will have some ideas where you can start from and what you can expect actually. So it's very important.
Thank you, Dima. So considering the topic of our webinar today, this is something very new for majority of sellers, and there is a very big gap in the knowledge about that, especially like here in Europe. I know that obviously United States, they always been ahead with lots of new things that are being implemented in business that they work, and then in Europe or in Poland we were following, and they became successful after a period of time. Even like considering the marketplace, how it was growing, Amazon. So I remember times, because I started in 2011 when Amazon was entering Europe. And that was very beginning, and everything was very different. I remember my first optimization. I never used now I'm using, but in the past, at the very beginning, I wasn't using like Helium 10. I was using some random very basic websites for ideas on keywords and phrases, and I was even creating them, just what people can think about when they purchase products. Now the influence marketing, which even for myself, it's something that I don't know how to start, how to work on it. And obviously people are now being a bit tired of promotions of PPC on Amazon, because it's highly competitive. So in terms of the promotions, I have questions here for you so people can see it and you can see it. What are today's trends in promoting products on Amazon? Because obviously it is challenging for people now.
It's a very good question, first of all. Second, it's important to understand there's some fundamentals that have to be done before you're doing any promotions or trying to rank your product. And pretty much I'm going to come to the event in Warsaw, that we're going to discuss the key metrics and how to create a perfect product, because these fundamentals, they're more important than any promotions you're going to run eventually. What also I want to add, a lot of people, especially with our mentality, like Ukrainian guys and probably Polish as well, there's one big gap of understanding that some people, they try to create one of the best products, and it has actually consequences. The thing is that sometimes when you're creating the best product, you have a product cost too high, the shipping will become cost too high, product packaging become cost too high. You have to make a good enough product to sell, but also you have to focus a lot on marketing. And that's why today we're discussing about influencers, because back in the days, Amazon was much easier to manipulate, to drive algorithm to your favor, and a lot of people was using different techniques and giveaways and other stuff. So people was pretty much cutting an Amazon pie. Like, let's say, imagine like Amazon traffic is it's a pie, like a big tasty cherry pie that everybody cutting and trying to eat as much as they can. But nowadays you have to more focus on traffic that you're in control of, and traffic that you in control of. There, it could be divided by several options. Option number one, you're driving traffic from influencers, or you're driving traffic from paid ads, or you're driving traffic from articles, and all this comes also with the promotions. you when you're saying like today trends in promoting products on Amazon, I have a biggest question for you, Maggie. Do you personally sell on Amazon?
I do.
You do, yeah. And do
Yeah.
you sell in Europe or in USA?
Both.
Both,
And
yeah.
UK and Canada.
What's your most favorite market where you sell?
Well, US in terms of finding products and implementing them, but Europe is easier for us geographically
And you
because
produce products
it's
in
close
Europe.
to us. Sorry?
And you produce products in Europe, correct?
I don't.
Yeah.
I produce products in China for the private label, but I also do reselling, and reselling I purchase products from Europe, which are
Gotcha.
also being manufactured in Europe.
Yeah. So technically speaking, what I was trying to refer for, it's first of all, one of the biggest problems when you work with the products that produce in China, for example, you have a very high lead time. So let's say before you decide to double your sales, you have to double amount of inventory. And that's one of the biggest challenges for every seller, because it's very cash flow intense. When you work with the physical products, it's always involved paying money upfront before you're gonna get profits, and sometimes before you even sell out the inventory, you have to put even more money into inventory. And it's one of the hardest truths that people sometimes don't tell you. But I can tell you that for the first 3 years, if you are a brand new Amazon seller, you may experience a serious cash flow issues, and you have to be smart how you're gonna navigate those type of movements in your cash, in your system. I'm getting closer to explaining how the promotion works, okay? Because I want to make sure, guys, you understand the fundamentals of promotions. Because promotions, it's just a trigger. It's just to improve CTR, click-through rate, and improve the conversion rate. But overall, promotions sometimes they really shrink your profitability. And when they shrink your profitability, it become even more difficult for you to continue working and reinvest in money, especially when someone started an Amazon business and live on this money. So what I've seen in a lot of Amazon sellers, they start Amazon business, they work for 5, 7 years, 3 years, they launch 3, 4 products, and then they start to live out of this money, out of the profits of the company, and they stop reinvesting in the growth. But they don't understand. They start to treat Amazon company as an ATM, like automatic payments system. And because of that happening, they start to be relaxed. They start to be a bit lazy. They rely on service providers. They rely on their employees who are not interested in growing your company. And slowly, you don't even see how your company are falling. And that's one of the biggest and hard truths that people never put their attention to. They just simply losing market share, positions, and overall they can lose a business. So the idea of every time I talk about promotions or any strategies, first I usually try to explain the fundamentals of the business, because a lot of us, I came to United States, I was a pedicab driver. It's a bicycle for tourists, like you take people on a ride and they enjoy and they pay you like a taxi. So, and I met one day a guy who was an e-commerce seller. So he teach me how to build business. So I didn't come from like a serious business background. Of course, I was always chasing like entrepreneurial lifestyle, but I never done an MBA or any type of education. And that's when I came to United States, I realized I have to go to the events, coaches, read the books. I have to speed up my growth mentally to make sure I understand how business works. So now, going back to the promotion trends, as you guys see, Amazon doing a lot of tests all the time. They giving you ability to put like clip coupons, Cyber Monday promotions, Black Friday promotions. Make sure you calculate your profitability well. We rely a lot on the lightning deals. We run them all the time. 7-day deals. We usually put clip coupons, but not on every product. And overall, we focus on the products. I would say 90% of my catalog that I sell on Amazon is consumable products, meaning like beauty products, supplements, warehouse products, something people buy once and then they want to buy again and again and again and again. So my idea is to acquire customer at almost any cost, and then start to build up this like a subscribe and save army of buyers, and it helps me to make more and more money every year.
Perfect. Sounds really good. I'm glad actually you said about business growth and looking after your business, because that's one of the most important things in a business, I think. I always say to my team, if we don't move forward, that means we are moving backwards.
I will give you 2 tips how you can increase your sales. Each of these strategies may increase your sales between 7 to 12%. And look, a lot of people, they're looking for some like magic pill. They want to give like one strategies and then change their business. It's gonna grow like 3 times, 5 times. First of all, be careful when your business grows growing 5 times. You can actually, majority of the people who lost their businesses, they lost them because they couldn't manage a cash flow. It's not because business was struggling with the growth or anything. It's because the owner couldn't manage the cash flow, and cash flow issues comes when you're growing too fast. It's also a problem. So anyway, strategy number 1: there's an automated email. System on Amazon, which sends emails to the customers. People use this for review requests and other stuff. Stop wasting money on sending these emails. Just set up a simple email saying, hey, for the loyal customer, we provide 10% after 30 days. And you set up these emails every 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, and 210 days. So each customer receives what? 1, 2, 3, 4, about like 10 emails. So 10 emails in 1 year. And each email only contain coupon for 10% off, or maybe 15% off, depends of your profitability level. And you will see this type of promotion will drive around 7, 10, sometimes 12% of your revenue growth. In the worst case scenario, I saw 3 to 4% by just activating simple email template. Don't try to write a lot of content there. Don't try to like write a company story. Just straight to the point. Thank you so much for being a loyal customer. Here's the coupon, and that's it. All right. So as simple as possible. And a second ability for you to grow sales as well. It's in United States. That's why I say ask you, Maggie, do you buy products do you sell products in the USA? If you buy products that under $25, you have to pay for shipping if you don't have a Prime account. A lot of people they have a Prime account, even though. So what my point? If you have a FBA and you sell through FBA, you send everything to Amazon, so Amazon fulfill your orders. Activate also an FBM offer, and you will see that people place an FBM offer quite constantly, especially if your product is under $25. Because put shipping cost 0, you will see people placing orders, and it's simple to automate. If people place order for FBM, you get an order for FBM, you have to fulfill it. You can just use Amazon manual fulfillment order process, and you just ship this to Amazon buyers. That will also can lift your sales by 5, maybe 10%. Depends on the product as well. But overall, it may help to boost your sales.
Actually, that's really good tips. I didn't think about that even,
Yeah.
but that's really good. I'm glad you said that. I personally have both FBM and FBA offers, and I do use it from Amazon, just fulfilling from my own stock in Amazon. Okay, so the next question. In terms of the influencer marketing, because that's the main topic of our webinar today, when is it? Because obviously, like we've talked about different methods of promotions and so on, and for some people it might be overwhelming. So, and there is the influencer marketing coming in. So, when is it worthwhile to use that marketing?
Yeah. As we mentioned before, let's say you don't want to use only Amazon Pie, Amazon traffic. You want to exceed this traffic. You want to bring more traffic. The question is like how you can do it in your own favor, in your own control. And influencers comes to the play as far as these people, they have following. Any person on Amazon has on social media, they have following. So they have people who trust them. So your idea is to find people who has a trust, credibility, and your product match their audience. So for example, if someone reviewing cars or auto industry, and you try to ask him to promote a cream or serum for face, it's not gonna work. So you have to make sure the product matches the influencer. The second biggest part, it's to make sure it's scalable. So you can manually look for the influencers, and usually it's a lot of hassle. People give you like such a high prices, and sometimes it's not even worth it to work with them. So you need to find platforms or services that will help you to reach out to influencers faster, that kind of pre-negotiate for you. And we use 3 platforms for that. The main one called Join Brands. I can put it later. The second one called Trend.io, and the third one called Incense. I think incense.com. I can take a look. I don't remember the extension. So anyway, it's been used by the team. So your idea about using influencers is to make sure the process is could be automated and scalable. Because you will need to have a lot of influencers, a lot of people who producing content for you. In our goals when we're working with influencers, goal number 1 is produce high quality content. Number 2, we want to make sure that influencers that get in our product really in love with our product, and I will explain you how we're achieving this. And number 3, we want to make sure that content that influencer are creating is aligned with our brand strategy. And I also can explain you how we're doing that and how we're achieving these goals. The third one, it's not only about influencer placing your content on a social media. It's about how you help an influencer to maximize the reach of the content he placed, which is I also can explain right now how we're doing that. But you have to understand, I'm not an expert in influencer marketing. I'm just giving you advices from my personal experience. So please don't judge me too crazy, and we can continuously improving. So if you will have any ideas how to even step up our game, please reach out to me. I'm always happy to listen. I'm don't try to think that I know everything. We every day we're just testing. We're testing. Right now we're spending maybe like $20,000 per week on ordering this UGC content from different influencers, which is I consider not a huge amount, but it's still we're testing. Maybe your budgets will be a little bit slower just to get started. So thing number 1, when you let's say we're talking about joint brands and how we work with them. On joint brands, you can just set up campaign, and when you set up campaign to reach out to the influencers, make sure you put as many details as possible about your campaign. Don't just try to request any type of content or try to reach out to any type of influencer. You have to make sure people understand and they read everything about your campaign. It's very important. It's like a fundamental thing. Thing number one, like you have to in details explain what you expect from content to be happen, and you also want to understand that content that you place on social media is aligned with your brand. What I'm saying is like if you're trying to promote facial serum, you want to make sure a person who is working with your product really applying the product correctly. Well, I will give you an example. We sell green tea on Amazon, and I remember a person influencer received my product, and to make a good tea, you have to use like a quarter of a spoon to make it like taste nice. But she didn't read the instructions. And when she was mixing this on a video, she put 2 spoons mixed with the water, and it becomes so bitter. You should see her face. Her face was like, looked like she got just a knife in her stomach. These little things, you learn them while you. It happened to me like maybe like 7 years ago when I was just trying to start work with influencers. So thing number 1, a campaign have to have as many details as possible. Thing number 2, you have to look at the influencer profile, check him everywhere. Is his audience is really aligned with your brand and what he gonna talk about? Because sometimes people, they just want to charge you like $100, $200 by just placing content on their social media, but it's not gonna help if they, as I mentioned, you're trying to promote a facial serum, but they mostly talking about travel or dogs. So thing number 3, the moment you agree with the influencer, which on joint brands you can set up campaign, it's very, very easy. People will start to apply. There will be around, let's say, 100 people who will ask to take your product, but you review these guys. You pick, let's say, 5 or 7, maybe 20, and then you send them instructions exactly how you want video or photos to be done. What angle, what light, what they have to say, or just give them topics they have to discuss while they reviewing your product. Don't let them just simply take your product and read the label. It looks awful. The third part, what we're trying to do to make sure people love our products, we don't just send them product from Amazon, because a lot of people, they do fulfillment order and they send it to the influencer, and they expect those guys doing some magic. They're gonna review a product with the proper lighting, proper music, proper positioning, or wording. It's not gonna happen. So what we're doing first, we're using a special gift boxes that we set up, absolutely fantastically beautiful. So these boxes we fill up with a special material inside. We also do this for some of our clients at Asaf Warehouse. But what we're doing, we're taking this box, we're crafting inside of the box the special materials like a base, okay? Then we put in our products inside. We put in little butterflies and flowers, and also we put in a little card that we're saying the card comes from CEO of the company. We thank you so much for working with us. You are the best. You blah 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 blah. And this has been written by our Gary, the guy who works at our house. But we do this. Let's say my wife, she's CEO of our beauty company. But anyway, it's a handwritten note. And when they receiving this, when they open this, they feel special. And that's what you have to provide to the influencers. You have to make sure people who works with you, they feel special. They feel that you and your brand care about them. You respect their job. You respect what they're doing, and you expect them to. And believe me or not, in many cases, people when they receive such a beautiful boxes, they want to do content. They're so excited because they getting bombarded by this Amazon ugly brown boxes. People just throw into their door and expect them to do the job, and that's not gonna happen. You have to make sure you step one step ahead forward. You have to think about feeling it to be like, what if you are influencer? How do you want product to be positioned? How you want to brand to be positioned? Of course, people expect when people see someone reviewing Louis Vuitton or Gucci or some new Bugatti. Of course, it's a huge brand and people excited. They talk about these products with a completely different emotions. But how you can convert a simple person who, a single mom or a guy somewhere in Ohio to take your product and be excited, emotionally excited about your product by doing extra steps to make sure people receiving these products and they get excited right away. They want to open, they want to see, they want to try it, they want to talk about this on the camera. And we have a situation many times when people receive things like this. They do not only one, they do 2-3 videos because they want to work with us. They know we care about them, and that's how we actually talk to them when we work with them on communication. We want to make sure they feel special, and that's one of the biggest things for us.
It's kind of, I have a feeling that they pass these emotions over to the influencing activities, I would probably say. So they receive your products, they are impressed, and they just pass over those emotions through the videos, photos, and whatever they write about product. That's my impression from what you said. I hope it's
Exactly.
right. Like I told you, I don't know much about influencing marketing. I'm being influenced by influencers. So I buy products that influence are promoting, but I personally never used influence marketing yet. So it's also very new to me. You've mentioned about the forums and the way you work with influencers. Would you give us like a top tip for the form of that should focus on the influence marketing? Is that the one of building the relationship and making impression? That's the most important? Or would you say something else would be the most important in terms of working with influencers? What would be the top one that we should focus on as a first one, the form that we do this influence marketing with influencers?
What do you mean by saying forum?
I mean, so like you've mentioned just now that building this relationship and making them feeling special,
Mhm.
and like bringing these emotions into this relationship, and they mm look at the product and their feelings about the products. But would you say maybe working with some other aspects of influencing? Like,
Look,
I mean, because there are obviously different aspects. Like you have this building this relationship. Then you've mentioned about preparing all the information for them, making sure that they do it properly. So which one do you think is the crucial one?
I will tell you what's the crucial one. The crucial one, it's called statistics game. First of all, I'm personally not emotionally involved in my products. I only look at the data, numbers, and forecasting. That's only what makes. And based on this, we can create emotions, and that's what the most important part for us. You have to understand. Okay, I do a lot of jokes all the time, and sometimes people don't understand my jokes. So if you guys on a webinar where I've been, or let's say I come to the event and I make the joke that you don't like, don't take me wrong. I'm just my job and my business sometimes are stressful and intense. So I just trying to have fun, and that's the most important part. So when I'm talking about emotions and statistics and trying to tell you, hey, stop telling me that your product are the best. First of all, I don't really care. It's important, okay? It's not because I don't care in terms of ignorancy. I mean, I don't care because if numbers doesn't match, you would not be able to succeed, and that's exactly what you have to understand. You 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 have to okay. So this is the thing: how to marry at the most beautiful girl in the world. You cannot just poke only one, like you have to have a statistics. That's why I have a amazing and beautiful wife because I run into the statistics.
She ticked all the boxes of statistics.
Exactly. Ask 10 people, one will say yes. So what I'm saying with influencers, and of course it's just a joke, but you have to understand with influencers is the same thing. You cannot predict um, how successful one or another campaign would be. Of course, you can pre-calculate, you can forecast, you can expect something based on already on like a history of the events you completed. Maybe you already like have some feelings and projections, and some things will help you to predict better results from each single influencer. And maybe the more you play, the more numbers you run, the more campaigns you complete, the more successful you will be. And it will be like you doing, and pump, like some influencers kicks in and you did like 300,000, maybe 1 million views on one campaign. But as I mentioned about like 15-20 minutes ago, that I'm gonna tell you exactly how we try to make sure we succeed in. Thing number one, pre-selecting influencers. It's a very, very fundamental part. Thing number two, try to create emotional connection between you and influencer, between brand and influencer, between product and influencer. It's a second fundamental thing that you cannot miss. And thing number three, the moment you create a content, the moment person plays the content, you have to use their post to boost impression, to boost outreach. And nowadays, one of the best platforms to do so, it's TikTok. You can do this with Instagram. You can do this with the YouTube. You can do this with the TikTok. TikTok has just one of the most improved system of boosting other people posts, other people content. I will explain you how it works. Imagine you spend, let's say, $100 or $200 on an influencer to create a piece of content. The moment they create a piece of content and place, let's say, on TikTok, I will give you just example on TikTok because it's exactly where we're mostly focusing our attention with. And we're doing this through the Join Brands. The Join Brands is a platform I mentioned. I have no intention to promote them. It's just a tool that we use. Maybe you can find someone else who do exactly the same thing, but I'm saying Join Brands because we're heavily using this on a daily basis. The moment influencers place the content, let's say there's 10 people, we see which person has the most engaged content on their profile. Some people you will see they have only like 10 views. Some people have 100 views, but some people have 1,000, maybe 1,500 views right away. And that's very, very good and important metric for you to look for. Let's say from 10 people, you pick 3 or maybe 4, the most influential that get organic outreach right away. It doesn't have to be 1,500. Maybe it could be 100 or maybe 150. It doesn't really matter. Through Join Brands, you can connect to their account, which call TikTok Spark. And you can actually start to boost their posts. You can pay $10, $20, $30 per day just to make outreach bigger. And that's what we're doing. If you spend $200 on creating a content, spend at least the same amount or maybe twice of this amount on boosting their outreach. And you will see by spending another just $200 that you already pretty much spent. So now it's going to be a budget about $400. You're going to have at least 75 to maybe 100,000 views on one single placed content. And it's very important to understand this. The same thing happening when we work with the YouTube influencers. We always have an agreement with them. If they create a piece of content for us, we focus on that, on quality of the content. We're making sure all the check boxes are checked before they release the video. We have a final approval. The moment they place this, we connect to their account and we spend money on boosting their specific post. And it's very important because there's 2 ways to boost visibility of your brand or boost visibility of the content that you're creating. Way number 1, you just creating ads from your personal ad account, which will be advertised from your page or from your group page or from from the channel that you have. But the way number 2 is trying to outreach more people with the content that's been created by third-party person who has his own credibility, his own influence level, power of influence. And people usually trust other people more than just brand specifically. If I see the ad by, I don't know, like Lexus or Bugatti or Bugatti, I don't see ads by Bugatti. Why I'm saying
You
that?
see them on the streets.
Yeah. I remember this Lamborghini said, we don't advertise ourselves on TV because our clients, they don't sit and they don't watch TV. So you have to understand where you're placing your ads and where you're trying to reach out to your customers. So anyway, 3 things that I want to pass on you today when you're working with influencers. Thing number 1, pre-filter the influencers. In addition Yeah, okay. Pre-filter influencers. Second, make emotional connection. Thing number 3, try to boost their content, because on their behalf, people will trust them more. You will have better success with the conversion. And what third I was trying to say? And the most important part, it's a scalability and automation. You cannot do it if you're the owner of the company. You cannot just sit all day long and just trying to communicate with the influencers. Try to find someone who will help you to take this part. And second biggest part is scalability. Platforms like Join Brands, Trend.io, Incense, they help you to scale game with influencers faster. And the moment you master the game, the moment you understood how to communicate, what's the better connection, what's the better return on your investment, then probably you can create a department in your company who specifically focusing on finding high quality influencers, because those type of platforms, they usually have like a mid-level and low-level influencers that don't have like a crazy big amount of following. But let's say when you want to have after someone like huge who has like millions of followers, then probably you will have to deal with their agency or the representative, and it may become, you have to be very, very organized when you work with the big guys.
Okay, so if I was the starter in terms of influencing marketing, would you suggest to use those websites to find options to work with influencers, or would you rather say I should contact them directly?
Both. You can do both. Like as I'm saying, if you never try to work with influencers, going to platforms like Join Brands is the safest bet. Like you can just go learn how the platform work, look at their materials, what their suggestions. Come to me in Poland, ask me. I can show you like a exact step-by-step process how to set up campaigns, how I set up campaigns for TikTok on Join Brands. Another biggest part would be it's when you work with the, what I was trying to say. Yeah, I get confused by Paul. I already getting excited about about pelmeshki and and dumplings, potato dumplings. You have
Yes.
pierogi. Call them pierogi. Yeah.
Pierogi.
Right, guys.
Don't worry, make sure you will have some. What I was just going to say also, I'm glad you mentioned about the conference because apart from your speeches, there will be expert roundtables. So it's a good idea for you to think about initial topic at the expert roundtable. The idea of the expert roundtable is that we would like speakers to initiate some topic for the initial conversation because people may be shy to start conversation, but then the second half of the time that you spend at the expert roundtable is time for people to ask questions, and that could be the good idea to develop this topic because it's very, very new for people in Poland. People don't know where to start, how to handle it. You gave us so many good tips, because like myself personally, I wouldn't know where to start and what to expect, what the cost associated. So that could be a good idea for the expert roundtable, because obviously I don't think any other expert would think about such a topic. Um, from what we know already about our speakers, and considering the influence marketing, how would you say in overall in your business or maybe in some other businesses that you know, comparing to the general promotional activities, what's the share or percentage of the promotional activities that is influence marketing now taking place? Because I can see from feedback from people when they talk to me about the promotional activities, they say, I think there is such a strong competition that they need to do something different than others, or they see that their competition, the strongest players, are doing something different than what they do at the moment.
Mhm.
So it's an idea to understand from your experience, from your business and the businesses that you know, what's the average like share of this influencing marketing in the whole marketing structure, promotion structure of the entire of the company or products that they sell.
Maggie, one of the biggest things that I can say, every product and every niche is different. Some of the products, there's not even a reason to go for the influencer marketing. If you sell some replacement parts or forks on Amazon, maybe there's not even a reason to go to influencer marketing. Your product have to meet, let's say, social media expectation to be interesting, to be watched about. Otherwise, you're just gonna burn the money by expecting some things. Maybe your best bet is just to go to Google PPC and master that part. The focus that you have in your business is the most important way to improve it. And a lot of people, that when they work, there's an amazing book. It's called Execution. I think I have here. No, I think it's in my other office. So anyway, the Execution book is about entrepreneurship, and is about a problem that majority of the entrepreneurs who run their businesses, they don't really understand where the money coming from, what exact impact they can make on a business to make money tomorrow. And they just jump in between ideas. They come to the webinar, let's say, and now they have tens of ideas. They don't implement any. So they just like, they're overwhelmed. Pick one thing, become master or expert at this. In a best case scenario, make sure you delegate to the department in your company and you focus on another thing. And that's how you become more and more successful every year. Speaking about influencer marketing, if you're afraid or you don't know, hey, what results I can get, what I should expect, as I'm saying, delegate a little budget, let's say $1,000 per month, or maybe don't focus specifically on the number, focus on the percentage from the money you're making from your company. I will tell you this way: if you didn't master a product optimization on Amazon, don't even start to think about influencing, because you have so much to do there. A lot of people, they didn't complete one thing, they go for another thing, they didn't complete this thing, they just jump. And it's like a guy in a circus with these plates, he doing one plate, then the second plate, then the third plate, and then when he doing like a fourth and a fifth plate, the first plate start to fall and break, and he just jumping between these plates. He couldn't achieve any successful plate to spin. And that's what I say in your business as well. Make sure you have a proper focus. If let's say you'd never work with influencer marketing, go to Join Brands, register, run one campaign for $100. In the worst case scenario, you're just gonna lose $100. But I'm telling you, it's a statistics game. If you don't have a full commitment to go for specific directions to become an expert, or create a department that will be expert in your company, then maybe just try to narrow your focus, and make sure, like, one by one, you become an expert in product optimization, conversion optimization. You run all the promotions possible on Amazon. It's everything scheduled, everything calculated. Yep, that's.
And you've started on this because you've mentioned about effectiveness. So how would you measure the effectiveness of influencer campaign to make sure that it's working and it's actually bringing money? You've mentioned about statistics and effectiveness. So how would you measure that?
There could be a fancy answer where I'm gonna bring you all the numbers, and there could be an agency answer or like a real answer. Sometimes you don't even measure that. You just expect things to happen. As I'm saying, you just dedicate part of your budget and just focus and trying to expect one day it will work out. So let's say you dedicate $500 per month on influencers and boosting their posts, and that's what you expect. And you see, okay, is it somehow impacting my Amazon business? Because sometimes you wouldn't have a direct correlation of running a campaign and right away result. So it's just like sometimes it's like a blind walking thing. And a lot of products could be like that. But same as, let's say, with the Google ads, you run in Google ads, you don't understand what's going on, why you have to keep 100% ACoS all the time. But the moment you cancel Google ads, you see your organic ranking dropping. So Amazon, there's a lot of mystery about Amazon, especially working with the budgets that don't have a direct order value. Let's say you run a campaign and you want to expect this amount of sales, but sometimes some influencers, you will see exact correlation in between, especially like on TikTok right now. If you set up TikTok shop, there's 3 things that you need to set up: TikTok account, TikTok shop, like a seller account, and TikTok like a marketplace. They have a third thing on fourth thing on a TikTok. It's like a platform where you can see the trends, so you can follow the trends. You can see what exactly trending on TikTok right now. But it could be a completely separate talk about TikTok, okay? how deep and how complex the TikTok is, and there you can assign how much percentage for the influencers you're willing to pay, so they can pick up your product and sell your product, so you can pay them commission.
And it's actually, you mentioned about TikTok, and Leszek asked question about TikTok. How do you see future advertising on TikTok with driving the traffic outside the platform to Amazon? So obviously Amazon loves outside traffic. They like you spending money on something outside and bringing it to Amazon because you're doing the job on behalf of them. So what do you think about TikTok being the traffic driven to Amazon?
Like, it's a good idea. I know it's logical, good idea. That's it.
Yeah, I think
There's no
Amazon
fancy
loves this.
answer. Just do this. Do this, run the statistics, and everything will work out. As I'm saying, look, here's the biggest part that you have to understand. Amazon, it's not a one-leg strategy. You have to create multiple sources of traffic and signals to Amazon to make sure Amazon loves your listing, loves your brand. They see that you bring in traffic. That's how Amazon been created. Amazon been created by just taking catalogs from retail to Amazon platform. And back in the days, Amazon was not even charging sales taxes. So people who comes to the store, let's say like a Best Buy or Metro or wherever, and they see they selling some vacuum or they selling some tools, they go to Amazon, they check out without sales tax. That's how it's been created in the United States. Well, that's why people have been buying this. Amazon pretty much took a traffic from retail stores and steal it to their platform. Nowadays, we as a sellers, we try to steal Amazon traffic, but Amazon wants us to bring traffic to Amazon as well. And if you are a brand that bring in traffic, Amazon will benefit you as well. That's how it works. So TikTok is just one of the traffic sources, same as YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook.
And here is actually another question from Kalina. Kalina is one of the experts in Poland, well-known experts. So I'm glad she's with us today. Experts in terms of selling on Amazon, Kaufland, and she mentioned she will be at the webinar because she's interested in that topic. So do you know anything about the use of Instagram brands, accounts, and automation services like ManyChat or others in terms of bringing traffic and obviously boosting your sales?
I would like to have like a more like specific question. This sounds like, do you want to use Instagram? I do.
Do you use or know anything about the use Instagram? Or do you use Instagram for brand
Okay,
accounts and automation services or ManyChat?
let's do this way. Let's just step aside, okay? It's not about Instagram. It's about you have a department in your company who creates a content constantly, and the content you can distribute to the channels that fits the audience. And that's pretty much the formula that you have to focus. Let's say you create one piece of content and you cut this on a pieces for the Pinterest, for Instagram, for YouTube, for Amazon posts. for TikTok. For that's pretty much the general answer of working with any type of platform. Same as when you create a product on Amazon. It's not about Amazon. Amazon is just a platform where you can sell your product, but there's plenty of other platforms that also can bring you a revenue. Like, let's say if you sell pet products, you can sell them on Amazon, but it would be stupid to not place this product on Chewy. Chewy, it's a website in the United States that has a bigger amount of clients, and it's bigger than Amazon in terms of pet products, and it's called Chewy. So you have to sell it. Or let's say if you sell products related to the housing, you have to sell them on Amazon, but there's a bigger platform than Amazon. It's called Wayfair, and Wayfair is more dedicated for home product sales. So what I'm saying, people sometimes getting confused. They try to focus on one single platform, but they have to look at the bigger picture. If you can create a high quality content that can be interesting for your potential customer, then you have to just create a strategy for this content distribution. So you producing content once, you pay for this once, and then the only question is how you distribute and through who you're going to distribute this content.
Kalina has added some more information to the question here and the use of that in regards to sales on Amazon. But I think in earlier question you have already answered that. So whatever works and whatever can make some sale on Amazon and bring traffic and boost your sales, it's worthwhile. So I think we've answered this question.
Look, in Poland, I can show you exactly how we set up campaigns to make sure we maximize and we understand how the traffic been performed, how exactly create links, and what main mistakes people making when they create attribution links and other processes. More like a technical thing. It's impossible to just on my hands show right now how the things works. Some things technical, you have to show them as a presentation, but it's not part of it's actually a part of whole ecosystem, as I'm saying to you. Content, platform where you distribute, and the technical part. How exactly you're gonna redirect people to the mobile app, not to the desktop? That's important. How you create an attribution link that really counting your brand traffic and maximizing the potency of your Amazon listing when you're trying to drive traffic, making sure Amazon is not putting your traffic to the zero signal, because people do these mistakes. They incorrectly set up links, and that's what makes system broken. So that's what we can talk about in Poland. I can show exactly how the technical part works.
We'll have plenty of time, and also I'm glad you've mentioned that, because you will have two presentations. You will have one presentation on one day, another presentation on another day. I'm just gonna quickly show here the topics that you're gonna talk about. So how to win on Amazon in 2024. A detailed plan on launching new product, hacks on winning against your competitors, and insights on how to set up a superstar team from your company. I would say it's so complex for the successful business and successful products. So I'm really glad you've picked those topics, because the biggest issues for people is a product, how to compete, and then how to scale their business. So in my opinion, the content is relevant not only for the people who start the business and search for the products, but also for people who actually want to scale their business and build their business. Like you said, scaling is also very important, because you have to do it in the right way. Otherwise, there is a risk of failure. Kalina said, "Thank you for the answer." And in terms of the conference, like we've mentioned, Dima will be doing two presentations on day 1 and day 2. There will be expert round table on day 1, which will be nearly 2 hours. It's 1 hour and 45 minutes, so it's pretty long. So you will have plenty of time to talk to Dima about all details, like Dima said, about technical aspects, like content aspects. He can show you how to set up things, but also there is an option as well, which is even more beneficial for people to come. There is a dinner, VIP dinner with Dima. I'm just gonna quickly help myself with link here, unless the other Dima will help me. There is link. 1 second. Let me just add.
Let me just give a quick explanation, guys. What's gonna happen in Poland? So technically, I'm gonna come for the event. I'm gonna glad if you're gonna come and say hello. We're gonna take pictures. It'll be awesome. I'm gonna share with you a very valuable information, my energy and everything. So I want to make sure you're gonna get as much boost as possible for 2024. My presentation is going to be on English. So anyone who has difficulties with the understanding, please make sure you come with the translator because it's
I'm
important
gonna
for you.
stop you here. We'll have a translator. So
Awesome.
everyone who
Yeah.
doesn't speak English, we have a translator who will be translating straight away during your presentation. For the expert roundtables, for any free conversations during networking, there will be a few people wandering around and helping in case of any troubles.
Yeah. As well, guys, we're gonna run a separate the guys Maggie called this dinner, but this pretty much going to be like a together hangout for the limited amount of people, because some people reach out to me, they want to personally meet, they want to personally be in touch, and I'm gonna able maybe to share some strategies with you at this dinner that I cannot share publicly, because you understand some things cannot go viral. There's going to be like one-on-one pretty much dinner with you guys. I don't know how many people we set up for, but anyway, you can reach out to those who organize the event, and that's, I think, one of the most valuable thing in my opinion. So you would be able to attend if this is not sold out yet, because I know the spots is pretty much limited, and it's very, very important for you as well. That's pretty much it. So make sure you come, make sure we see each other.
Yes, so in addition to this dinner, because many people are contacting Dima, we know already they are contacting Dima because they know he's coming for like a quick drink or whatever. He could go out. He doesn't have so much time to go out with every single of you. So that's why
I
we've set
wish
up
I
this.
will.
But it's difficult one. So we've decided we'll do a small meeting for those people who want to go out and have some time, more private time with Dima. And obviously, like Dima said, there will be lots of things to talk about, lots of valuable content. I'm just trying to see if we have any more questions. I know it's a very new topic for people, and I know that people are very interested in this topic. But at the same time, when something is very, very new, it's difficult to think of questions that they could ask.
Maggie,
Like,
I think, look, in my personal opinion, we're already over an hour, and sometimes it's difficult even to rewatch such a long
yeah,
webinars. Guys, if you will have more questions, make sure you post them under the videos wherever you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, and we will try to follow up with you, as well as those who watching us on a reply. Also, put the comments, or maybe save this question for for the personal question at the event, which will be also fantastic. That you come personally, you see the webinar, you come to the event. My last and the most important part that I want to share with you about coming to the events. I know a lot of things about e-commerce and Amazon, and I always continue working, improving. But every time I go to the events, it's not only to look for the brand new knowledge or some tactics. I'm looking for the motivation. Sometimes I look at the people who comes there, and I see their numbers, and I see for like personal inspiration. I come like energized, and I'm trying to cheer my team, and we just continue working. So these events, I go to events maybe like 10 times per year. Every time I just keep boosting myself energy. And I know some of you probably working from home or from office, and you working with a computer, and sometimes it's a bit challenging to force yourself. So please come to the event for this inspirational thing as well, for the energy that people are gonna share, meet new people, because sometimes it's important to exchange information, help. Imagine that you come there. When I come to the event, I usually come with the questions that I try to look for the answers, but I also try to bring a value. I try to bring 1 or 2 techniques that works for me right now, and I share this with the people. And when I share techniques with the people start to share with me as well. So you come to the event with 1 technique and you talk to 10 people, and you come back home with 10, 12 techniques that you can implement. Some will be more valuable, some less, but some will be so fast to implement. Like I told you on this webinar, how to activate your FBM offer. It takes 10 minutes to activate, but you eventually can make more and more money. That will take you like this little percentages for success. And that's exactly what makes the difference between just entrepreneur and highly successful entrepreneur. This little adjustments on a daily basis that will help you to grow.
So exactly what Dima said, there will be a game-changing connections, tactics, mindset, the business mindset. That's also important, the atmosphere, and you see the energy that Dima has. There will be experts like this. You will have this energy. And trust me, after a few hours of speaking to people like Dima, this energy comes up and you will be like, whoa, I'm gonna be a wolf of Wall Street and make the business and grow it. So Dima, your content was amazing. Thank you
Thank you.
so much for the entire content. Uh, I'm gonna do like a couple slides in a minute, but if we don't have any more questions for you, I'm not gonna keep you that long because you have already spent over an hour with us.
Look, I'm excited to see Kalina Kruzhevskaya. I'm excited to see Kamila Polskaya, Leszek Sivek. Sorry if you guys have pronounced your names incorrectly, but I'm sure I'm going to meet you personally in Poland. We definitely have to talk. And guys, thank you so much for inviting me for the webinar. I wish everybody a successful Q4. I know everybody just been excited about Black Friday and Cyber Monday. It's the best days of the year for any e-commerce seller. There's upcoming another month of sales, which is great, and I hope you're gonna make a lot of money as well.
And
Thank
in
you.
January we meet for the new fresh start for 2024, bringing you lots of great experts. And Dima, I'm so grateful for you being here today. It's been amazing. Thank you for the content. We have now plenty of information to digest, and we'll certainly come back with some questions either in the meantime or in January at the conference.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
So thank you. You take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Słuchajcie, moi drodzy, ja już wracam na polski. Mam nadzieję, że podobała Wam się nasza rozmowa, że dużo ważnych informacji zostało powiedzianych. Dla mnie bardzo dużo, tak? Ponieważ jak wspomniałam, dla mnie influencer marketing też jest czymś nowym. Więc jest dużo informacji do przetrawienia. My na pewno będziemy dalej zgłębiać ten temat dla Was. A mam tutaj pytanie od Kamili Opolskiej, o której się zacznie konferencja w piątek, o której się skończy w sobotę, czyli what time the conference starts on Friday and when it's finishing on Saturday. Powiem po polsku, bo zakładam, że Kamila jest Polką, patrząc na jej imię i nazwisko. Konferencja się zaczyna w piątek o godzinie 9. Zaczynamy sobie od porannej kawki, takiego welcome. O godzinie 9:15 zaczynamy nasze prelekcje. 2 prelekcje, przerwa kawowa, 2 prelekcje, mamy godzinny lunch. Później znowu mamy 2 prelekcje, przerwa kawowa i 2 prelekcje i wtedy zaczynamy Expert Roundtables. Po Expert Roundtables mamy wieczorny networking. Przez cały dzień kawka, napoje, lunch, przekąseczki, jedzonko na wieczór i open bar, więc jakby zadbamy o Was, żebyście wytrzymali. Tak naprawdę cała impreza kończy się o 22 w piątek, a później zaczynamy w sobotę o 10 rano i wydarzenie będzie trwało do godziny 17. Jeżeli ktoś ma ochotę na jakieś after party po tym wszystkim, to na pewno z doświadczenia wiem, że takie rzeczy się wydarzają, więc na pewno coś ustalimy już na luźno. Ale nasze networking, takie stricte zaplanowane, konferencyjne, jest w piątek wieczorem po zakończeniu Expert Roundtables, czyli o godzinie 18 do godziny 22. I tu będzie mnóstwo właśnie możliwości, żeby zapoznać się, już Ci daję dość do głosu, z prelegentami, spędzić z nimi naprawdę dużo czasu. Proszę, oddaję
No
głos do Dimy.
i nie zapomnijcie o tym, że jak dzisiaj zaanonsowaliśmy 10 osób, my mamy tylko 10 biletów na tą VIP kolację z Dimą Kubrakiem, który jeszcze dopiero teraz na tym webinarze odpaliliśmy sprzedaż. Już my mamy pytania na grupach dotyczące, jak tylko Dima powiedział, że on będzie w Warszawie, to od razu zaczęły wpadać pytania, czy będzie tego razu dostępna taka kolacja z Dimą, ponieważ często on zgadza się na podobne spotkania poza ogólną agendą wydarzenia, tam gdzie można stricte bezpośrednio z nim,
Cieszy się to
powiedzmy,
dużym
oczy w
zainteresowaniem.
oczy pogadać o takich najbardziej irytujących tematach, albo problemach, których chcielibyście rozwiązać, więc takie spotkanie też przewidzieliśmy. Wybraliśmy mega dobrą polską restaurację Stary Dom, w której na Was będzie czekała dobra, pyszna kolacja i jeszcze lepsze rozmowy, komunikacja z Dimą, odpowiedzi na pytania, dobra atmosfera, więc pomyślcie o tym. Wy jesteście wśród pierwszych, kto dostał tą informację, więc macie pierwszeństwo, tak? Bo ten link, który podawaliśmy przed tym, jeszcze momencik, odpalę go, globalsellers.pro/VIP, przyprowadzi Was do tej strony, gdzie będziecie mogli złożyć zamówienie na taką kolację, na udział w tym spotkaniu. Jeżeli oczywiście nie planujecie szybko wracać do domu, bo w niedzielę trzeba jeszcze coś ogarnąć, tak? Chociaż nie ma niedzieli handlowej, więc i tak do sklepów nie pójdziecie. Okay.
My zostajemy też osobiście do niedzieli, nasz zespół i tak dalej. Więc dzisiejszy nasz webinar też będzie u nas na kanale YouTube, będzie on zapisany, więc tak jak Dima wspomniał, jeżeli macie jakieś pytania, zawsze możecie zadać w komentarzach pod webinarem, albo możecie napisać do nas, jeżeli coś o czymś będziecie chcieli jeszcze wiedzieć, żebyśmy mogli przekazać to pytanie i uzyskać na nie odpowiedź. Oczywiście tradycyjnie, jeżeli ktoś z Was jeszcze czuje, że to jest ten właściwy czas na naukę i chciałby albo douczyć się z pewnych aspektów sprzedaży na Amazonie, albo rozpocząć swoją przygodę z nauką sprzedaży na Amazonie. I nie wiem, czy zauważyliście, co Dima powiedział na samym początku, że teraz jest bardzo dużo różnych informacji, różnych źródeł wiedzy dostępnych i trzeba z nich korzystać. Ja rozpoczynając swój biznes na Amazonie nie miałam takiego szczęścia i robiłam wszystko metodą prób i błędów. Tak, troszeczkę inne czasy były, ale też się bardzo dużo rzeczy po omacku robiło, co się z tym wiązało, że popełniało się kosztowne błędy. Teraz dzięki temu, że mamy różnego rodzaju narzędzia, różnego rodzaju wiedzę, która jest aktualizowana, która jest usystematyzowana, to bardzo mocno Wam polecam, jeżeli chcecie rozpocząć swoją przygodę, żeby skorzystać z tej wiedzy, bo jej koszt takiego kursu jest niczym w porównaniu do kosztu błędów, które można popełniać i mówię to z autopsji, ze swoich wieloletniego doświadczenia.
Ja od Ciebie tylko dodam, że dokładnie wczoraj miałem rozmowę z jednym z nowicjuszy, który dopiero teraz chce wystartować na Amazonie i jak zobaczył, on zaczął na naszej stronie facebookowej pisać pytania przez Messenger. Jak zobaczyłem te pytania, które dostawaliśmy od niego, to zdecydowałem dać jemu numer do kontaktu, żeby zadzwonił i żeby porozmawiać z nim bezpośrednio. Wyobraźcie sobie, że te pytania, które on zadawał, od razu dali mi do zrozumienia to, że ten chłop jest za jeden krok do wtopienia kasy. Naprawdę. Natomiast on, gdy usłyszał, że kurs kosztuje 2159 zł plus VAT, powiedział, że to jest za drogo dla niego, że on nie może sobie pozwolić na starcie biznesu na Amazon wydać taką kasę. Ale jak przeliczyłem jemu w tych jego pytaniach, ile on błędów już w tych pytaniach, w tej swojej strategii zawartej popełni, ile to będzie jemu kosztowało, a to tak, to mogło jemu kosztować blokady konta na Amazonie w całości, straty całej partii towaru podczas odprawy celnej, bo chciał to wystawić na Stany Zjednoczone, produkcji złego towaru, ponieważ były tam też problemy z komunikacją z dostawcą i to tylko 3 podstawowe pierwsze kroki, nie licząc już tam na kalkulację marży i tak dalej, czyli często ludzie oszczędzają na tym, na czym przy braku czego później stracą o wiele, wiele więcej niż zaoszczędzili na jakichś takich elementach, na przykład jak sprawdzona wiedza. Więc uważajcie na to i korzystajcie ze sprawdzonych źródeł. Te programy, które teraz są na waszych ekranach, powstały po to, żeby usystematyzować tą przeogromną wiedzę, która teraz jest na Amazonie. Żeby trzymać ręce na pulsie tych zmian, które odbywają się ciągle na Amazonie, żeby wy bylibyście poinformowani, żeby znajdowaliście w otoczeniu, w środowisku ludzi, którzy orientują się w tym i mogą wam dać właściwe odpowiedzi na wasze pytania.
Tak, a przechodząc dalej, tradycyjnie dla naszych wytrwałych, oglądających uczestników naszych webinarów mamy dla Was kod zniżkowy. Kod zniżkowy jest to START 2023 na każdy z zaawansowanych kursów, więc jeżeli czujecie, że to jest właśnie ten moment, to właśnie jest ten moment, kiedy możecie skorzystać z tego kodu zniżkowego. A ja Wam powiem, także niektórzy patrzą na to, czy na pewno rozpoczynać w 4. kwartale. Ja moją przygodę z Amazonem, ogólnie z e-commerce'em rozpoczęłam w 4. kwartale. I praktycznie w grudniu, więc każdy moment jest dobry i jak najbardziej może zróbcie sobie prezent gwiazdkowy, czy cokolwiek Wam przychodzi do głowy, ale każdy moment jest dobry, więc jeżeli zbieraliście się do tego, to polecam. A wracając do konferencji, co obiecałam Wam, to, że powiem Wam o tematykach, jakie będziemy poruszać, ze względu na to, że walczyliśmy o to we dwoje z Dimą, żeby tak poukładać tematy i tak układać ekspertów, żeby opowiedzieli Wam o różnych aspektach prowadzenia biznesu na Amazonie. Więc między innymi będzie branding, budowanie wizerunku i rozwoju marki. Dosyć sporo czasu poświęcimy na reklamę na Amazonie i jak dzisiaj Dima też powiedział, ogólne marketing, influence marketing, reselling, jak prowadzić rentowną sprzedaż. I tutaj zaanonsuję Wam niesamowitego speakera, który będzie u nas. Jest to Kev Blackburn. Osoby, które gdzieś tam siedzą w resellingu i śledzą cały reselling, arbitraż, wholesale online, to wiedzą, że Kev Blackburn jest absolutnym wymiataczem tego tematu i on nie tylko przyniesie Wam tematykę tutaj związaną z resellingiem, ale też przede wszystkim, ale też o strategiach budowania biznesu. Więc oprócz tego, że powie Wam bardzo dużo fajnych informacji na temat budowania biznesów arbitraż w reselling, to jeszcze opowie Wam, jak skalować ten biznes w aspekcie długoterminowego rozwoju, żeby to nie było takie jednorazowy rzut. Optymalizacja ofert i kiedy treść ma znaczenie, będziemy mieli specjalistę od oprawy graficznej i wizualnej prezentacji Waszych produktów na Amazonie, wszelkiego rodzaju zagadnienia finansowe, skuteczne zarządzanie magazynem na FBA, ponieważ będzie i FBA oraz całą logistyką, ponieważ będziemy też mieli specjalistów od logistyki, wszelkiego rodzaju case studies z życia wzięte, z życia naszych ekspertów, ich pracy na Amazonie, ich klientów, biznesów, z którymi współpracują, kwestie compliance'owe, więc absolutnie wszystko, co Wam będzie trzeba z 2 modeli sprzedażowych, z resellingu i z private label, wszystkie aspekty produktów, listowania ich, compliance, kwestii prawnych, kwestii finansowych, wyszukiwania produktów, ale także kwestii biznesowych. Więc skupiliśmy się na tym, żeby content był właściwy nie tylko dla osoby, która sama chce rozpocząć swoją działalność na Amazonie, ale także dla biznesów, które gdzieś patrzą ze strategicznego punktu widzenia na Amazon i takiego troszkę większego obrazka, więc każdy z Was na pewno wyniesie content i dokładne porady tego, jak robić ten biznes adekwatne do swojej sytuacji. Coś jeszcze chciałam Wam powiedzieć, a wypadło mi z głowy. I będziemy mieć też samego Amazona u siebie na konferencji. Tutaj Jeremy jest jednym z prelegentów i będzie też kilka osób, które będą na miejscu w razie, gdybyście potrzebowali jakiejkolwiek pomocy bezpośrednio z samego Amazona, więc to jest też bardzo przydatna informacja dla wielu z Was, którzy chcą więcej informacji ze strony Amazona, może chcą jakiegoś wsparcia, więc tutaj też będzie taka osoba. No i co, moi drodzy, jeżeli już zadaliśmy kilka pytań do Dimy, jeżeli macie jakiekolwiek pytania do nas, to jest ten moment tutaj teraz, żeby nam zadać te pytania, a jeżeli nie macie, no to będziemy powolutku kończyć. Może damy chwilę.
Ja ze swojej strony tylko chciałem dodać takie drobne rzeczy. Nie będę Was jakoś namawiał na to, żebyście wszystko zostawili po świętach i od razu jechali do Warszawy, dlatego że my wymyśliliśmy sobie jakieś wydarzenie. Powiem szczerze, że to jest dla nas też wyzwanie, ponieważ my cały czas patrzymy na to, jaką jest teraz publiczność w Polsce w odniesieniu do biznesu na Amazon. Jak to traktujecie? Jak traktujecie samych siebie? Jaki potencjał teraz jaką jest wasza świadomość w tym? I widzimy, że sporo potężnych firm z potężnym potencjałem nieodpowiednio traktują Amazon pod względem możliwości, które są dla ich firm na tej platformie. I nieodpowiednie traktowanie, chodzi mi nie o to, że uważają, że Amazon jest zbyt komplikowany, a tak nie jest, albo odwrotnie, że myślą, że to jest bardzo prosta rzecz, a to też nie tak jest, że ten produkt ich musi tam się sprzedawać, dobrze sprzedawać, ale dlaczego się nie sprzedaje. Czyli są różne sytuacje, w których jedynie czego potrzebujecie tak naprawdę, żeby to zmienić punkt widzenia i swoją strategię. I o takie spotkanie, które teraz organizujemy w Warszawie, właśnie po to i są, żebyście mogli w jakimś momencie zobaczyć wasze perspektywy z punktu widzenia tych osób, które osiągnęli sukcesy na Amazonie na najwyższym poziomie. Ponieważ Dima, który dzisiaj uczestniczył w naszym webinarze, on tylko własne biznesy wyprowadził na 8-cyfrowy poziom obrotu. A jeszcze on i uczestniczy jako wspólnik, jako partner w wielu innych biznesów, obcych firm, którym też pomaga ze strategią, ze stworzeniem skutecznej strategii wejścia, rozwoju i skalowania biznesu na nowy poziom. Więc takich wydarzeń jeszcze w Polsce po prostu nie było. Czy będzie kolejne? No, zależy od tego, co zobaczymy teraz w Warszawie. Ale dla nas to wyzwanie, ponieważ gdy te eksperci, których zapraszamy, słyszą, że teraz w Polsce jest publiczność amazonowa, która potrafi zrozumieć, nie to, że zrozumieć, czym jest Amazon, a już wyszła na ten poziom zapotrzebowania informacji, którą oni są w stanie podzielić się, to oni są bardzo pozytywnie zaskoczeni, że wow, już w Polsce jest taka publiczność, która potrzebuje takiej wiedzy, to jest mega, to jest super, chętnie weźmiemy w tym udział, chętnie podzielimy się swoim doświadczeniem. Więc przegapić to taki moim zdaniem duży strzał sobie w kolana, ponieważ moja historia dużego sukcesu właśnie zaczęła się od podobnego wydarzenia, którym był wtedy, to nazywało się AMZ Forum, który odbył się w Kijowie jeszcze wtedy, tak, kiedy była pierwsza fala taka mega potężna amazonowa we wschodniej Europie, w Ukrainie, i tam zebrało się 500 osób i też w jedno miejsce przyjechali mega znani eksperci od Amazona i to naprawdę otworzyło oczy i pokazało z zupełnie z innego poziomu i z innego punktu widzenia te perspektywy, które dalej były przeze mnie realizowane. Także jeszcze raz zapraszamy Was i nie przegapcie kolejnego wydarzenia, bo jak Gosia mówiła, naszym kolejnym gościem na naszym kolejnym webinarze będzie Kev Blackburn i to będzie po prostu petarda.
Nie kolejny, za tydzień, znaczy my mamy już zaplanowane pewne webinary dla Was. Za tydzień i 2 dni będziemy mieli na webinarze Pierce, to jest specjalista z Getida, który Wam opowie o finansach i o skalowaniu Waszego biznesu w aspektach finansowych. Natomiast 14 grudnia, czyli za 2 tygodnie i kawałeczek, będziemy mieli Kev Blackburn. Więc szykujcie się na regularne webinary z niesamowitym contentem i niesamowitymi ludźmi, którzy między innymi właśnie będą naszymi prelegentami na konferencji. 7, 14, zapamiętać, poproszę. Póki co, dalej będziemy anonsować kolejne. Wszystko mamy zaplanowane, ale teraz szykujcie się na 7 i na 14.
Okej. Życzymy wszystkim udanego wieczoru i do zobaczenia online.
Jasne. Widzimy się online i później offline. Do zobaczenia. Dzięki.